All right, this is lesson 2, part 3, and we're talking about exponents at this point. I want to just kind of do a little bit of a comparison between multiplication and exponents. If you stop and think about multiplication, that's the same as saying, like, you're adding something multiple times, right? So if I were to have this, right, I'm adding 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's going to be the same as saying 4 times 5, or 5 times 4. All right, and that's going to give us a 20, right? We're comfortable with the fact that that multiplication works. Well, when you have multiplication that's repeated and the number is the same, that's when we use our exponents. Okay, so if I had 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, that's going to be the same as saying 2 to the 4th, because I have 4 of these 2's that I'm multiplying to each other. All right, so this is hopefully going to make some sense as we go along. I'm also going to show you some characteristics about multiplication using exponents, and hopefully that will make some sense. I do want to be super clear that 2 to the 4th is not equal to 2 times 4. All right, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's going to give me a 16. All right, so that's clearly not going to be the same. They are not the same number. You need to be very mindful of that, because it's real easy to make that mistake and think, oh, well, I'm multiplying by that number. And the answer is no, you're multiplying the base times that number, times itself that number of times. Okay, so let's practice a couple of these, and we'll go ahead and see what happens. All right, so we've already talked about 2 to the 4th. Let's go with 3 to the 4th. Okay, so what this is telling me is I'm multiplying 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. All right, this is going to wind up being 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, and times 3 is going to give me 81. Okay? If you have something like 1/2, and you cube it, what you have now is 1 over 2 times 1 over 2 times 1 over 2. All right, 1 times 1 times 1 is going to give you a 1. 2 times 2 times 2 is going to give you an 8. So if I have 1/2 cubed, that's going to become a 1 over 8, or 1/8. All right. I want to be super clear too that if I have a bunch of things happening, my order of operations absolutely comes into play. So if I have 3 times -4 squared plus 5 times -3 squared, I have to address these first. I have to deal with my exponents. And remember, the exponent is only operating on what's inside this set of parentheses. Unless I have 3 times a -4 inside the parentheses and then squaring it, you have to deal with what's being operated, what that exponent is operating on first. Okay, so what's going to happen here is I'm going to have my 3, and then 4 times 4 is going to get me a positive, or -4 times -4 is going to get me a positive 16. And I'm going to have a 5 here, and then Negative 3 times negative 3 is going to give me a positive 9. And now it becomes a matter of going ahead and doing the rest of that multiplication. So this is going to get me a 48 plus 45, which is going to wind up being a 93. All right. Now, what happens if I actually have something that the whole thing is being squared or cubed or whatever? In that case, again, our order of operations is going to dictate what happens, and you need to keep that in mind. All right, your order of operations here is going to give you, if we have, say, 3 times a negative 1 minus 2 times 1, and I'm going to cube this. I'm going to raise it to the 3rd power. So my order of operations is telling me that I have to do this piece first, and I'm going to use my order of operations inside those brackets. Okay, can't do anything with the parentheses, and then I don't have any exponents inside the parentheses. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my multiplication and division. So now this becomes negative 3 minus 2. All right, and then that's going to be still going to be cubed. All right, so now this becomes negative 5 cubed. Well, that becomes negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. And that winds up being a negative 125. All right, because my negative and my negative is going to give me a positive. That's going to give me a positive 25. And then I'm multiplying that by a negative 5, which makes this go back to being negative. Hopefully that is pretty straightforward as well. All right. I'm going to stop this video here, and we'll pick up again with some more information about exponents in a moment.